Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. Dennis Jernigan here with a couple more Parkinson's moments just for you. One is actually quite serious and conveys some of the things that cause me pain and actually leave me feeling weary, while the other moments I'm going to share, express those moments of joy I find even when dealing with Parkinson's. If you've not already done so, would you consider reading my latest book called Parkinson's and Recreation: One Man's Journey Through Parkinson's So Far? I honestly think it'll bring a bit of hope and joy to you, regardless of the circumstances of your own life, whether you have Parkinson's or not. It's available wherever books are sold, and don't forget to leave me a review wherever you purchase your book from. I really prefer 5-star reviews. Just saying. Now, let's get to the serious Parkinson's moment first. This is pretty common with Parkinson's sufferers. I don't get much sleep these days thanks to Parkinson's, but I'm learning to see even those sleepless moments as opportunities to hear from God. That's honestly what I do. On the morning of August 16th, I woke from a restless sleep around 4 a.m. And rather than get frustrated and angry, I chose to not take any sleep medication because to do so tends to make me feel groggy the rest of the day, and I just didn't want to feel groggy. I wanted to feel present, even if I felt tired. I decided I would just lie there in bed and see if the Lord had anything for me. So I began to meditate on my life and trying to see it from His point of view. And before I knew it, the lyrics for an entire new song had been written into the notes on my iPhone. Parkinson's often leaves me feeling very isolated and alone. But that is not the truth, and it is not reality. I'm constantly surrounded with family and have several friends who keep in touch with me. The problem comes when I allow pride to keep me from interacting with others. It's as simple as that. As an example, I have a very pronounced tremor going almost constantly in my right hand and arm. That's just reality. If I think people are noticing me while I'm out in public, I'll stick my hand in my pocket and try to hide the tremor. But the more self-conscious I feel when I suspect people are noticing the tremor, the more anxious I become. And the more anxious I become, the more the tremor intensifies. It becomes a no-win situation that I often allow to keep me from interacting with others. In a way, I just go into hiding, which is the exact opposite thing I should do. Why is that? Because life is found in relationship, regardless of whether I have Parkinson's or not. Those who love me don't care if I have a tremor. They don't. They just love me. I'll post the lyrics below because I hope they'll convey to you some of what I'm dealing with personally and how I am choosing to deal with it. Now, on a lighter note, recently at the local Starbucks drive-thru, I was greeted by one of the young men who often serves me. I go there so often they know me by name. All the servers do. This young man calls me by name and is always very kind. And on the windowsill, there were 2 boxes for tips. One said Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and the other was labeled Supernatural. Both shows, TV shows from the early 90s. I laughed and I said, I've never seen either of those shows, so I don't know where to tip. He seemed dumbfounded. He said, "You didn't watch those shows? They were both so very popular in the 90s. I replied, I was busy making babies in the 90s, so I missed both of those shows. He began to laugh so hard at my response, and he pulled out another tip jar from behind the counter and said, well, here's a tip jar for guys like you. He was still laughing as I drove away, and then it dawned on me what I'd said. I had just blurted it out. Who does that? Who tells a person they barely know that they were busy making babies in the 90s? I don't know what else to call it, but a true Parkinson's moment. I have another couple of Parkinson's moments involving Starbucks. I won't take much more of your time. But on one occasion, I'd just finished my workout and decided to treat myself to a skinny vanilla latte. I love them. I paid using a credit card and went about the rest of my day. That afternoon, I happened to need to use the credit card again, only to find it gone from its usual place in my wallet. Of course, my Parkinson's weary mind went blank as I retraced my steps from the day. Melinda asked, where have you used the card today? And I said, Starbucks and ding ding, Starbucks. But before I made the 5 mile trip back to Starbucks, I called and asked if they had any credit cards left at the drive through that day. And guess what they said? They responded with, we actually have about 35 from the past 2 days. What's the name on your card? I gave my name and they found my card. But then I began to wonder to myself, are there 34 other people with Parkinson's in the Starbucks drive-through on any given day? Or is that just an average of forgetful people around here? Go figure. Since that day, I've twice nearly driven away without my card and a couple of times started to drive away without even paying. Each of those times, I was stopped just before I made my getaway by the frantic window server leaning their torso out of the drive-through window, arms flailing, yelling, "Stop! You forgot your card again!" Or "Stop! You forgot to pay again!" Classic Parkinson's moments. Over the past 4 years since my diagnosis, I have already experienced, honestly, enough Parkinson's moments to last a lifetime. While the struggle is very real and there are periods of suffering, I honestly find it so very helpful to laugh at my situation. I'm in no way denying I do indeed have the malady, and am in no way trying to belittle anyone who does not choose to see Parkinson's in the same way I do. Laughter really does work like a medicine for my soul. It just does. That's enough for today. Remember to get my book, Parkinson's and Recreation, One Man's Journey Through Parkinson's So Far. I really, honestly think you'll enjoy it. And until next time, be blessed and choose joy.